Okay, so let's talk about Arundhati Roy's Mother Mary Comes to Me. I picked up the book because of one of its most famous quotes. So let's talk about Arundhati Roy's Mother Mary Comes to Me. Now, I picked up this book because of one of its most famous quotes that's doing the rounds. I had to undaughter myself to admire my mother. Now, mother daughter relationships are complex, and I've had phases with my own mom where I didn't understand her choices. So, when I first came across this quote, I thought to keep myself aside and see my mother the way others would see her. And I started to draw up a list. Many friends have told me that she has an infectious laughter, that she doesn't shy away from putting her thoughts across, and the list goes on and on. But I thought that reading this memoir would help me understand those dynamics probably through a new lens. So this book is a memoir about Arundhati's experiences with her mom and about Arundhati's life as a reflection of that relationship. It begins when her mother leaves her husband and sets out to live on her own with two young children, her elder brother and her. It's as much about her mother's struggles as it is about Arundhati's. And I came to know about this after I read the book, that her mother is a celebrity in her own accord and is very, very well known in Kerala. So even after Arundhati flees home at 17 and the narrative shifts to her life, her mother's presence in the book remains constant. The early chapters are short, which creates this illusion of moving quickly, of going through the book really fast. But that's not why you are hooked on to the book, it's the writing. Now, I haven't read The God of Small Things, which is undoubtedly her most famous work, which also won her the Booker. But I have read Ministry of Utmost Happiness. And beyond the first chapter, it was just a cumbersome read. Although I have to say that the first chapter, as I remember it, was extremely well written. I was hooked on to Anjum's character from the get go, and till the time Anjum is the focus of the book, I'm hooked. I am so into it. But other than that, the book really didn't work for me. But, anyways, coming back to this book again, I have known Arundhati to be an activist, and I keep coming across articles and tweets against her. And I can understand why. She's not one to mince her words, and she makes no apologies for her political stance. So that was definitely a highlight in the book for me. I also found the book very inspiring because despite going through so much, she doesn't have a victim mentality. She has been on the receiving end of a verbally abusive relationship with her mom, but she doesn't seem to carry any of the baggage. I can imagine her having trauma from all of this, but it's just beautiful how she's managed to carry it all so lightly. And honestly, I know that a book goes through multiple edits, but you can't fake these things. There are no undercurrents of passive aggressiveness in her writing. I noticed this as she spoke about not just her mother, but also other people, like when she got slapped with FIRs, when she was presented in front of a bench, when, the charge of contempt of court was slapped on her. So she looks at them almost with a weird amusement, as though she's observing them from a third person perspective and then writing it. And so the writing seems like a wink to the reader, like an inside joke between her and us. Now, as I was reading this and she speaks about all her seminal work, I was taking notes. I was deeply fascinated and I want to watch In Which Annie Gives It Those Ones. I think it's available on YouTube. I also got curious to read Walking with the Comrades, and multiple other work that she's mentioned. The book is a moving portrait of relationships. especially that of a mother and a daughter, from which there is no escape and whose only solace is acceptance. And that's it. That's my humble submission.